Alrighty, welcome to the demo of my final project. So my final project is a terminal-based roguelike game. It has map generation, turn-based combat, plenty of dialogue, and a lot of more things like RNG for chests and battle drops, and there is also a side quest in here. So there's a lot that's gone into the game in terms of like crates and everything. I do have a little list here of exactly what we've really done for it. So, obviously I mentioned there's procedural map generation or just randomly generated maps. So I have two distinct levels. The first level being a room called Sunny Day, which is the initial, village that the user spawns in. And then the second being the Weeping Willow Woods. And those two are the main spots in the game. And as we go through the game and actually play the game, we'll see a little bit more with that. Another thing I tried to incorporate is an entity component system. So pretty much this manages the player, the NPCs, all the enemies, also any interactive objects. And you'll also see the examples of those, like chests and stuff. Another thing that we did is we use state management, which is essentially it handles the transition between the title screen, the intro screen, and then the actual gameplay, and then the transitions from the dialogue to the battle, and then finally to the credit scene. I did also incorporate my own custom battle system. So it's a turn-based combat loop. That part is pretty generic, but it also does have mechanics for like whoever has the higher speed advantage. It does damage calculation. It also does deflection or like a parry, I guess. I left it up to random chance. You get a 20% chance per 10 defense points that your character has, or that the enemy also has. And there is also a real-time timer that punishes the player if they take too long to decide on what to do. So if they wait like for 11 seconds and then decide what to do, the enemy will attack first. So it punishes the player for not making a quick decision, essentially. And then I also did incorporate an inventory, equipment, and consumables tab, or like a menu section, I guess you can call it, because it does pause the game. And it allows the user to equip weapons, to look at their stats, to use consumables as well, to heal up or adjust their stats or give themselves temporary buffs. And that's also another thing that I incorporated was the temporary buffs through consumables. And you'll see here in the game, everything that gives you a buff, essentially it just gives you the buff for 30 seconds. And then after 30 seconds passes, your stats go back to what they originally were prior to that consumable. And then there is also, I like to think, pretty good narrative. I think I worked pretty hard on it. I think it's fun. Should be a lot of fun going through this with all the different dialogue options and everything I have set. Now, before we get into it, I do want to talk about the actual code of it. There were two main difficult things, I would say, and they are these three files here: the world and the renderer and the game loop. So these three files are essentially like the mitochondria of this whole program. Anything that I essentially want to add or adjust or change about the game would most likely have to be changed in one of these files. So these were definitely the most difficult parts. As you can see, there's over 1,000 lines, nearly 1,100 lines of code in this world file, and then about 600 in the renderer and another 200 in the game loop. And this did take quite some time, and thankfully, using ChatGPT and a mix of Gemini, I was able to get a lot of help through AI with this, because it would have been quite difficult having to do this all on my own. But I definitely did learn a lot more about Rust than I thought I would have. Plus, I had a blast making this. It was a lot of fun. And so let me talk a little bit more about the file, actually. So the world file, it essentially holds all the game logic and state management. And this is difficult because of Rust's like a little bit more strict ownership rules. And I saw plenty of warnings through through this, so definitely got familiar with that. So the main challenge I found was actually implementing the battle logic for the whole battle system, because I had to first read battle data and then mutate the world state. So like the player's HP or any of the logs or any of like the attacks or whatever's going on, we always constantly have to update that, and then keep it updated until a certain time or until the battle's over, in which case it does restore the user's health. And then another thing that I found to be a little bit more difficult was actually managing the flags for the narrative progression. And you'll see once we go through the actual game that certain characters only say certain dialogues once you've done certain things in the game. It's a lot of variable adjusting, and that was quite difficult to figure out. And then another kind of troubling thing I went through was with the actual spawning logic, because every single time you spawn into a new instance of the game, everything is randomized except for where the mayor's location is. And I wanted that mayor's location to be set to a certain lock onto the player spawn, because then it kind of just forces the player to go talk to the mayor first to really get the narrative going. So I went ahead and did that, and obviously we'll talk about that once we get through the actual demo. Okay, so yeah, so that was the main difficulties I had with the world file here. And then the second most difficult file I went through was the render. And the render essentially is like the face of the game, or like I guess you can call it the UI of the game. It gives us a camera zoom, so when the player spawns in, it doesn't show the entire map, so the player has to go around and explore, and they don't just know where everything is. It also gave me dynamic layouts, so I had to have the render dynamically switch the layout based on whatever the game state was at the time. So if the log panel, for example, is in a dialogue situation, and then it switches to like the battle phase, and you'll see that very clearly once we get into this demo. And yeah, besides that, I believe we should be good to go. In terms of any like systems topics that I went through, I did a lot of stuff using the Ratatouille tool and Crossterm, and these two tools really were the main. They were really the main like APIs and crates that I used, and yeah, they helped a ton with this. And there was also a bunch of other ones, and you'll see once we load into the project and like the requirements download, you'll see there's a lot that we had to use with it. And yeah, a lot of crates were incorporated. I think nearly like 40 crates were incorporated. And yeah, so let's get going on the actual gameplay demo here. All right, and in my README on my GitHub, it does state how to run the game. So essentially, it's super simple. All you got to do is load into the actual file through the terminal, and then you go ahead and just cargo run. And then as you can see, it's downloading everything that we're going to be using. I also did add my own custom music, which did help quite a lot in terms of like the narrative aspect of it and everything. All right, so it's going to be a demo of my game. Sunny day. Go ahead and click through. So here's the intro. Welcome to Sunny Day, where everything was once bright and happy is now in despair. It is up to you to bring back the sunny times, listen to its people, understand your mission. Alright, so immediately we're going to go ahead and spawn in, and as you can see here is our log panel with a few instructions. Welcome to Sunny Day. And then here is our actual map and our movable character. And here, so any lettered, colored letter is going to be a character that has some sort of impact with the story. Any of the C's are just going to be chests, and any regular dots are just going to be NPCs. And over here is the player tab, so it'll give you your stats, or you can also click Q to view your stats here in the log. And then it'll also give you some controls, give you your room position, and then give you which room you're in. And then if you go ahead and click I, you'll see that there's 3 tabs for your inventory: weapons, consumables, and backpack. And you just tap T to tap through them. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and begin the game by talking to our mayor. Welcome to Sunny Days, visitor. I am Mayor Soul. We are normally much more able to take on tourists, but you have arrived at a bad time. The Weeping have made it a rough time. They have completely taken over the Weeping Willow forests. What's that? The Weeping sound like they belong in the Weeping Willow Forest. No, that's nonsense. The only reason they are called the Weeping is because they weep before they kill. I mean, is it not right there in the name? Keep up. Okay, my friend. You must help us get them out. Without our Weeping Willow bark, we are losing our health. Will you help? Why, thank you. Now go talk to Noor to get you started. Alright. I'm going to collect this chest. You found a treasure chest. Inside is frozen tears. I'm going to go ahead and click A to put in our inventory. Let's go ahead and take a look at it in our inventory. Frozen Tears gives us minus 2 HP, but it also does give us a plus 5 defense buff, which is nice. Here's Noor. Hey there, partner. What's that? The mayor sent you here? Damn soul, always ruining my day. What? No, not you. You seem okay-ish. So what you're going to do is fight the Weeping, eh? Well, you'll need a weapon. Grab a sword or the shield. Go ahead and take the shield. Good choice. Now I'll keep the other one to be fair. If you want your second choice, go see Lamp. Alright, so I guess we gotta go see Lamp. So here is another chest. Sunny Jerky. Okay, and what is this? It looks like this is our door to the next room. So if we click E, looks like it wants us to talk to the mayor, and we already did. And then we already talked to Noor. So I think we gotta talk to Lamp before we can go through that door. There's another chest down here. Fiery Ale. So we're just gonna throw that in our inventory. Then we'll go through all the inventory items in a bit. We're gonna talk to this character. Dorosht. Hey there, mighty traveler. Rumor is you're gonna go into the Weeping Willow Woods. If you do, might you fetch me something? Go ahead and click yes. Do you really mean it? Why, thank you, mighty one. What I'm looking for is the Weeping Dagger. Legend states it's a cursed blade forged by the most brutal of Weeping. Now don't you worry, you won't trade for nothing. I have here is a mighty fine weapon, the Willow Axe, made with a fine steel, along with the strong bark of the Weeping Willow Forest. Come back with a dagger, and she's yours. Alright, cool. So it looks like we got ourselves a little side quest. Gonna go ahead and talk to the villager here. Isn't it bad? So gloomy, so dark. I need some vitamin D pills or something. Guess that makes sense. Talk to this guy. I actually overheard the mayor talking to himself. I think it's going a bit cuckoo. Alright. Oh please, if you think the Weeping are bad, wait until you hear from the IRS. I agree. Alright, so here's Lamp. Hey, did Noor send you? Yeah, they're a bit rough around the edges. So you're missing a sword? We'll take this. Got the sword. Alright, so let's look at our inventory now. First, our consumables that we picked up. Sunny Jerky, plus 5 HP. That looks like it. Fire Ale gives us plus 2 HP, but also a plus 2 attack buff, which is awesome. So let's tab over to our weapons. Our sword gives us plus 3 attack, and then plus 3 speed, which is useful against enemies. And our shield will give us plus 3 defense at the cost of 2 speed. So we're at net 1 speed, which is not bad. So we're gonna go ahead and talk to nobody and go to the Weeping Willow Woods. Alright, so it looks like we should be all set. Let's talk to this guy. It sure is cold out. All that global warming bibble babble is just a hoax. That guy is something. There's another chest, it looks like. Let's go pick this up. Fiery Ale, nice. Definitely will be useful. Let's talk to this guy. I had a friend in that village. His name meant bright, just like how he was. I wonder how he's doing. That's sad. I'm gonna pick up Frozen Tears. Alrighty. There's another chest up there, but I did see another NPC here. Have you talked to the guy who thinks global warming is fake? What a nut. I agree. Alright, let's see. What is this? S. So, must be a certain character or something. And they are red, so let's see if they're an enemy. Hey, you're not supposed to be in here. Who are you? Wait, never mind. I couldn't care less. Are you ready to die? Alright, so it looks like it is an enemy. His name is Sheb. And we got 3 options: fight, inventory, or to run. The inventory option will just let us choose one of our inventory options. And then anything that's not visible here, it'll just wrap around to the actual inventory panel right here. Just so then this isn't like going wonky and expanding and, you know, whatever. So I'm gonna go and click I because we don't need to use anything, and we're gonna go and fight him. Click 1, and it looks like with 1 hit we killed him. And it also does look like our stats got a little bit of a buff for killing him. Can't believe I lost the likes of you. Get away from me, I'm training. Fair enough. Let's pick up this chest. Looks like another fiery ale, very useful. And also it does look like our HP will be restoring after each win. So another frozen tears, cool. Let's talk to this guy. Who are you? Doesn't matter, my armor is impenetrable. Alright, so Crad, very fun nameplay. We're gonna go ahead and fight him. Click 1. It looks like he hit us for 7 damage, but we also knocked him for 19 damage, which is very nice. So I think we're pretty safe to just go ahead and kill him. My armor. What do you want from me? Leave me be. You've shattered my armor and my armor. Sniffles. Okay, so it looks like we made him a little bit sad, but looks like we also got another buff for our stats here, which is nice. And our health also did restore. I can't believe that's how they think of us in here. We literally get our name from the weeping willow trees that we live in. Like, come on. Also, fair enough. Alright, so it looks like that mayor might not have been too truthful with us. Let's see, who's this guy? You low-class scum. You come into my home, my community, and kill my men. Okay, so it looks like this guy is our big boss, 30 HP. Alright, but we also have quite a big attack, so I'm pretty confident that we can just kill him. Gonna fight him. We hit him for 22 damage, and it looks like he did not manage to get a swing on us, so we're gonna go ahead and swing one more time. Looks like we killed him, and since we were faster, it looks like we didn't take any damage on that kill shot. I underestimated you. Looks like he's dead, and he dropped a chest, so let's go and pick that up. It looks like it is the weeping dagger that we are looking for our friend Dorosht. Alright, so it looks like that may just be it. And let's look through. Oh, it looks like we do have another chest that spawned. The Shield of Healing. That sounds pretty neat. Let's see. So in our backpack, here's the Shield of Healing. I'm gonna go ahead and first unequip our basic shield and then equip our Shield of Healing. And wow, so it looks like it gives us plus 10 defense and plus 2 HP, which is not bad at all. So looks like we are good to go back to Sunny Day. Alright, so it looks like we're back in Sunny Day. Let's go find Dorosh to talk to him and give him his dagger. Where is this guy? There he is. Let's go out and talk to him. Was that it? My goodness, I never thought you'd come back alive, let alone with the dagger. The deal is the deal. Here's the axe. Awesome, so it looks like we got the axe. So I'm gonna go ahead and unequip our basic sword and go ahead and equip the willow axe. And wow, so it looks like it's giving us plus 15 attack, plus 5 defense, minus 2 speed, and plus 5 HP, which is very nice. But since we are at 30 out of 37 HP, I am gonna go ahead and eat one of these sunny jerkies, and I will use a I guess we'll use a fiery ale for now and get our attack buff. And yeah, let's see, let's talk to this guy. The sunshine, but at what cost? I wonder what he can mean. Let's see. I knew it. I knew what? That the mayor was cuckoo? I'd rather pay taxes than go through what they have. For their sake, they have. Huh. I can't believe it. What can't you believe? Let's see. Let's go talk to Noor, see if they have anything to say. Always knew that SOP was no good, it's up to you. SOP. Does he mean the mayor? Great job. You did it. But it was for me. You see, I lied. To you, to this town, to everyone. I told them the sunshine drought was due to the weeping. I even told them the little lies of their namesake. But it was for a good reason, you see. For money. Capitalism shall prevail. Alright, looks like our final battle is against the mayor. And we are at 34 health, so I do strongly think we're just gonna kill him right away. So we're gonna go ahead and fight him. Oh, it looks like he deflected our attack, which is quite bad. So let's go ahead and hit him one more time. Awesome, so it looks like we got him. And he cries out, "No, the shareholders!" And then that's the game. Finn, Sunny Day by Kian Kakaveni. And then all you do is Control C to exit. Thank you.